to another exciting edition of Explore Richland. I'm Mark Ingham. Well, today we're visiting the Horn Rapids area of town to explore one of the premier dog event, dog training centers in all of town, Paws DogWorks. Now, this impressive facility is located at 2765 Kingsgate Way and features some of the most experienced dog trainers in all of Eastern Washington. Today we will show you that whether you want a well-behaved dog or a canine companion to compete with, Paws DogWorks is your place. Let's go. Oh wow, it is beautiful in here. Well, joining me now is Tracy Hill. Tracy is the owner of Paws DogWorks. Tracy, thanks so much for joining us today.
You bet. Thank you for having us.
Well, I'm excited to talk about the facility, learn all about the exciting programs and classes you offer here. But I want to start at the beginning. How long have you been in this space, and how did you turn your dream into a reality?
So we broke ground on Valentine's Day, 2013. The theme of the groundbreaking was for the love of dogs. And so we built this building from the ground up, actually. We're on a little over 6 acres here. And this building is about just under 17,000 square feet. And so this was something that I thought was needed in our area. There was nothing like it around. We have the dog training clubs and things like that, but no permanent place to train. And so my vision was to offer something not only for people who were just getting a puppy, but for those of us who compete at high levels of sports.
That's great. And now I want to talk about the classes you offer, but first I want to have you maybe just describe your space a little bit. Talk a little bit about the amenities you feature here.
Sure. So as you will be able to see, this black matted area where there's equipment and whatnot is exactly 10,000 square feet. It's 100 by 100. And so if we were to hold indoor agility trials, it's the perfect size for a ring for agility. So I wanted to make the space usable and flexible. So generally speaking, we have 3 classes going on at one time. 1 in the agility ring and 2 others somewhere else. But we also have area outside where we can hold classes.
That's great, and it truly is, a one-stop shop for all your dog training needs. And now you do offer dog training. You also offer dog sport classes. I want to start by talking about the training options. What training options do you offer here?
So everything from if you bring a brand new puppy home, we have puppy classes. We have the Canine Good Citizen classes. We have Try It classes, which is where they can try some of the sports to see if it's something that their dog is interested in. We have therapy dog classes. We have basically anything you would like. If you have a reactive dog, we occasionally do have reactive dog classes, but we also offer seminars throughout the year. And so those are for specialty training classes normally, but in the past we have done reactive dog seminars for people who have dogs who are either fearful or something of people or dogs. We try to offer a little something for everybody.
And now let's talk about the sport classes, because maybe that's an option maybe people in the Tri-Cities don't know even exists.
That's a really good point. We offer several of the sports. Agility, nose work, which is basically detection. We do regular obedience. We do tracking, which is based on search and rescue. And then we have canine freestyle, which is dancing with your dog. So lots of different things. And there's always new sports coming up all the time. So if we can get the equipment or we can offer a trainer who is high quality, we will absolutely offer it here.
Now, one thing that I find interesting is I'm a dog owner. I have 2 dogs, but I've never put them into actual formal training. But when I come and visit your facility here, I always think man, I should have done that with my dogs. So can you talk about what are the benefits of having a well-behaved dog?
There are a lot of them, obviously. It does make them easier to live with, generally speaking. And a tired dog is a good dog. And what we mean by that is when the dog has expended both physical and mental energy, then they're going to be calm and quiet around the house. But our trainers, all of them, are very well versed in all of these things and how to help your dog do the best that they can do in all of these things. There's not a cookie-cutter approach to every dog, just like humans. All dogs learn differently, people learn differently, and so our trainers are really good at figuring out what makes that dog tick. But the training also makes your dog a joy for you, not only at home but out in public. You can take your dog to more places, art fairs, things like that, where they're not going to be freaked out around a lot of people and a lot of things. And the younger you start them, the better your foundation is going to be.
And observing the training that I got to see when I was here videotaping, I noticed that there's not a lot of discipline when the dog does something wrong. And I feel like at home or if you go to people's houses, they just you hit your dog. And you guys are giving them treats and these types of things. So talk maybe about some of the misconceptions of training a dog and what works.
Well, right. Again, one thing that we've learned, although it seems like dog training maybe is more of an art than a science, there is a whole lot of science behind how dogs learn. Many of us have taken classes in learning theory in dogs. Sometimes the challenge is people treat their dogs like people, like they understand everything that we're saying. Not necessarily true. Imagine being dropped on Mars and you don't speak Martian, right? And you're thinking, well, I don't understand the customs. I don't understand any of this. Puppies don't come out of the womb understanding what's expected of them in a human world. So it's up to us as humans to help them understand. All of our trainers here work based on positive reinforcement whenever possible. Does that mean that sometimes a correction is needed? Yes, but there's a difference between back in the day, and by that I mean many, many, many years ago, where you would jerk a dog and you'd be very forceful with it or spank it, to basically ignoring the behavior that you don't want and rewarding the behavior that you do want. So it's more of a carrot, less of a stick.
Yeah, great advice. I want to talk about the trainers here and maybe talk about how many trainers you have at Paws DogWorks and what makes a great trainer.
Well, there are 11 of us in total. And gosh, what makes a great trainer? Well, a lot of things that make a great trainer are experience, right? You don't just suddenly go to take one class and then you're a trainer, right? But we as trainers need to be good not only with dogs, but also their people. Because make no mistake about it, we're training the people how to work with their dogs, right? And so they're here for an hour a week. They need the tools to be able to go out for the next week between the classes and work with their dog. So a lot of times, many of our trainers either have handouts to hand out, or they email links to certain types of training that they worked on that week, or videos of their own dogs doing that work and how you can break it down step by step. So I think what's really important is for us to realize that the dogs and the people that come in here come in as a unit, and we need to address both ends of the leash.
Great. And I wanted to ask, the old adage I guess you always hear is you can't teach an old dog new tricks, right? Is there, I don't know, I want to ask if that's true or false, but also like, what, is there a certain type of breed or a certain age maybe where that dogs can kind of pick up training better than others?
Okay, so there are actually three parts to that question. So you can teach old dogs new tricks. Puppies at very young ages are sponges. They're picking up everything. And even throughout their lives, dogs are watching us all the time. So we want to model behavior that we want our dogs to emulate. And if, for example, if we're feeling stressed, generally speaking, our dogs will feel stressed. They don't understand why, but they know that something has changed in you. And so when they're puppies, when they're very little puppies, is a great time to get them started on basics. But throughout their life, dogs like to continue to learn. Dogs love to have a job. A dog that has a job is a dog that is very content. And that job could be carrying a little backpack down to your quarter of a mile away mailbox and carrying the mail back. That job could be sitting at the front door and making sure that the neighborhood is, we're doing our check on our neighborhood. Or it could be, like many of us who compete, it could be competing in nose work or agility. So the thing is you need to make the learning appropriate to the age of the dog and the skill of the dog. In other words, you don't want to teach a young puppy a very advanced agility skill because they have no foundation to go up to. Not dissimilar to us as kids, right? You start in kindergarten and you go and you work your way up. Same sort of thing. We use all of the foundations as building blocks to get to the next level.
Well said, and thank you so much, Tracy, for coming on the program. Tracy Hill, owner of Paws DogWorks. They are located at 2765 Kingsgate Way in Richland, Washington. And you can also find more information on them, including when classes begin, online by using the link below. I also want to share that the City of Richland is currently reviewing animal licensing fees for 2019. During this review, no new or renewal license will be issued, and residents are encouraged to use their 2018 tag until further notice. Now, if you have questions on anything else happening in the City of Richland, I strongly encourage you to visit our webpage at the link below. And don't forget, we are where you are. Find the City of Richland on all the popular social media platforms. We're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Tracy, I have to ask, what's the record for the fastest completion time of this course?
Probably about 25 seconds.
25 seconds? Let's see what I got. I'm Mark Ingham. Thanks for joining me on this edition of Explore Richland. How am I doing? Can I take this?